a question for the Premier. So previously you'd said that you couldn't comment or presuppose any potential referendum question put to the populace. The Alberta Prosperity Project this morning released the question that they intend to move forward with, which is, do you agree that the province of Alberta shall become a sovereign country and cease to be a province of Canada? They said they're waiting until they can get about 600,000 signatures before pushing forward with the petition. So if any referendum question has to respect the treaties, would you be willing to put that question on a ballot to Albertans?
Well, as I mentioned, there is a citizen-initiated process. Having people sign up on a website saying that they will ultimately sign a petition is one thing. Getting the physical signatures signed up is another. That's why we have to wait for the process to play out. We haven't yet passed the legislation, and so once the legislation passes, it'll be pretty clear what the timeframes are. I know that there are several groups out there that are proposing different timelines, different questions, and so I'll wait to see which one garners enough signatures and actually gets a petition campaign going before I would comment on that. But I've made my position clear. I support a sovereign Alberta within a united Canada, and it's my job to see if we can get a new deal with Ottawa so that I can convince more Albertans to feel the same.
But whose job is it to determine whether or not a question being put to Albertans is constitutional or respects the Charter? Is it the government's job to say, we don't think that's a legal question? Is it Elections Alberta's job?
Well, I think it was the Supreme Court's job, and so the Supreme Court in their Clarity Act gave some pretty clear ideas about what you needed to do, which prompts a negotiation if something like that was ever to be successful. So I think that this the Clarity Act and the constitutional or the court discussion around it gives a pretty clear path. That wasn't just to apply to one province. So I think that it's no one's asking these questions in Quebec, even though they do have the Parti Québécois polling higher than anyone else, and they've just elected 24 separatist MPs. So I think that perhaps maybe talking to some of the scholars in Quebec, because they've obviously worked through that and they're much further ahead in the discussion than any other region.
Awesome. And we'll go to Shay, and then Jack, if you still have your hand up, we'll go to you next. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for taking my question. It's for the Premier. We've heard, you talked earlier today about economic stability and relief. I've heard from some economists who say that any plan for Alberta to separate from Canada is not economically viable, and they fear that investment would flee from this province as a result of that instability. I know you said that your government is not putting forward this referendum yourself, but you are leaving the door open. So are you risking economic stability by doing so?
Well, as I said, we support citizen-initiated referenda. The whole purpose is to have a process for citizens to be able to put those questions forward. I would say that would be a question for any of the groups that are leading that, because we aren't. We're leading the effort to have a strong and sovereign Alberta within a united Canada, and that will be what I would be advocating for.
But by lowering the threshold, you're leaving the door open, and you yourself acknowledged, talking on with Vashi Capellas last week, that you needed to provide an outlet, or else it could create a new party. So, therefore, I guess, are you worried about fractures within your own party as a result of this? We're seeing new groups, whether it's the Alberta Prosperity or the Republicans, saying that they're hearing a lot of support on this.
I think single issues should be put on a single question on a ballot if citizens want it to be. Our political party has dozens, if not hundreds, of policies, and so I don't intend for the United Conservative Party to become a single-issue party. We intend to continue to support their founding documents, which that we are supporting constitutional sovereignty within a united Canada. So once again, I think that those questions are for the various groups that are putting forward the referendum questions.